Life's a Bitch came about because I had my eyes on up-and-coming rap dudes, and that's what I wanted on my record. I didn't want anybody famous on it. He kept coming up in my head. I liked his style.
I'm Rakim, and this is 20 years later, Do or Die. Newly signed and hot off the Illmatic tour, AZ stepped off the stage and into Jimi Hendrix's Electric Lady studio, the birthplace of Do or Die. Icons like Run DMC, Bowie, and Prince left their mark, and permission for genius to thrive. If their permissions was an inch, AZ took a mile.
My whole direction, once I got the record deal, was I gotta represent now, you know? My calling is here, you know, the time is here, that window of opportunity is open. I have to, you know, represent for Brooklyn.
I was pretty hands-off in the making of the records, and I think what I told the team, I remember this pretty well, is let's stay out of the artist's way. Just be a facilitator. Just get him who he needs and who he wants. And I know we wanted Pete Rock, Premier. I know the LES name had come up. And I said, let's make him happy.
First song to set the album off was rather unique, because Pete played a couple of beats, and that particular song was in the mode and the vibration of the way the sound of hip-hop was going at the time. And my whole thing is how I got on was unique, you know? With no expectations, just being at the right place, right time.
Well, I have a funny story about Rather Unique. I had just made the beat. It was done, ready to lay it down in the studio with A. And there's an assistant engineer who was, you know, who's pretty busy running around the room doing things. And he was by the patch board where I kept my drum machine, and he made a mistake and was plugging stuff in and plugging my drum machine out with the beat, you know. And I'm like, oh man, so I had to do it all over again.
My caliber got me thinking on a higher algebra. See me, I'm just as stylish, but you ain't got no style of ya.
When the album started coming and surfacing, it was time to submit beats. So A came down to the studio. What was crazy was that every joint I was playing, he'll be like, yo, that's too hard. Give me something a little softer. And I'm like, oh man, you know, because mind you, I'm banging out MOP all day, so I'm in straight hardcore mode, rugged mode. But as the track started playing, I said, hold on, let me try these joints, because these joints I ain't never really played for no one. And A heard the joints, he just started grabbing them. I was like, oh, this is the sound he want. And then when he got on that More Money, More Murder joint, that's the one where he stopped and said, yeah, I'm gonna take this back and see what my peoples think. And he said, I'm gonna play this for Nas.
You know, DR, period, he had that street sound, and he played the More Money, More Murder track, and I think it was a sample from the OJs. Man, and you know, Life's a Bitch was from Yearning for My Love, and it was just oldies but goodies that touched the souls, that soul music. Oh man, that just captivated everything. We just got into a zone with that.
I just wanted to make something hard. You know, the chorus gotta be hard, like how some of the verses are.
More money, more murder, more homicide.
Catch that body, you better have that alibi. You know, you better have something like, it was like, you know, if you're gonna be out here and you're living that life, you better know how to live that life. AZ knew how to spit it and talk about that life, and from like a book author. You know, like he was that well written.
Whoever thought of that sweet thing, born model material that hated how cereal could grow to be a hot silly hoe, really though.
Even working with him, it's like he's picky as hell, and it's like just looking and sifting through maybe about a good 8-9 beat tapes. When he found that one, he was like, yo, all right, I got one. This is the one right here. It's the craziest song. It's like, y'all got the craziest story to your record. You know, he penned it, we went into Electric Lady, we did a couple of sessions, and we knocked it out.
To make an album, you gotta have cohesiveness, and that was a melodic track within itself too, but it also was giving me a chance to get my storytelling on from a different perspective, instead of just, you know, the streets and just being braggadocious on certain songs. It was, you know, my interaction with female perspective, or how I seen it. That was a good look. Buck came through with that.
Sugar Hill was one of those songs that smoothed out the gentleman and made the ladies pop their hips.
My DJ at the time was LES, and he told me that he had this new guy coming up, and they had this hot song, and they needed a girl to sing the hook, and they actually had someone singing already, Monifa, and they, I guess, didn't like it. So I came in, and then LES brought me to Nas, and Nas and LES sat me down. I remember it was 3 nights. The record company sent a car for me to go, and I didn't get in the car. And then the last night, I was like, what do I have to lose? And it wound up being the biggest song of my career.
We went through a lot of females came and auditioned and sung on the track, but Miss Jones came to the studio, and she did it. It was like, oh, that's it. That's the track. That's the one that set the album off. As an artist, what I took from the experience after the Apollo show was that the bar was raised, and I was able to meet that bar. Like, now it's time for me to go to the next level and do bigger venues, and now I feel like I made it.